Welcome, welcome. Good evening, great thinkers. Welcome to Healthy and Wealthy. I am the guy b.hill.
And I'm the guy k.miller.
Together, we're two young minds with old souls here to help you reach your ultimate goals. K.Miller, what you got for the people?
Man, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing for real, b.hill, man. Just sitting here enjoying life, man. We coming up out of this pandemic, or we might be going back into another pandemic. I don't know, but you know how that is. A bunch of smoke screens, but you know. So we just see how it ride out. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I can't complain. If I was doing any better, they might try to make me jump off a bridge or something like that, man. I'm doing fantastic.
Okay, well that's great, man. What you feeling? What you feeling today? What you got for the people today?
Ooh, well, so I was inspired by a Nipsey Hussle line.
Okay,
on
what
his
you got?
song, Hustle and Motivate. Where the guy, he says, I never trip on the credit. I just pay all of my dues. And it was so quick because he go into the next bars and he go. But I just kind of tuned in on that, and it just got me thinking, like, wow. Especially in the climate that we are in today, a lot of people need to know that I did it.
Right.
That I put it out here. Do it for the gram. You got to see it. You got to see it. Where sometimes, man, we just need to do the work, and eventually it will be seen. So just out there to keep going. Don't always worry about, did they notice? Right. Did you hear? You sure? Did you? Just do what you need to do. And eventually it's all going to come back to light. And it may be 5 minutes later or 5 years. But then once you get that, once it comes back around to you, you'll get that credit, and it's always all worth it. So, just go ahead and pay your dues, man. So that's where I'm at. How you feel on that quote right there?
Okay, yeah, man, I love that, man. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, man. But yeah, I feel that line. It also takes me to something that I heard Russell Simmons say in one of his books. It may have been Super Rich. I read his collection, but he was always saying just focus on the work and don't worry about the outcome.
Okay.
So, you just stay grinding, you know what I'm saying? Keep your head down, keep pushing forward, and people will take notice. And also just make sure whatever it is that you're doing, that you're dedicated and you're motivated, and it's something that you want to do. You spoke on the gram. I remember some years back just trying to get off a blog I had, and I was so concerned about watching what other people was doing instead of watching what I was doing. So it forced me to step back a little bit, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have dealt with that. But we always have to focus on what we have, our goal, and just work through it that way.
Okay. So how can you relate this topic within your life, long-term goals, or just every day in general? That saying, don't trip on the credit, just pay your dues. How can you relate that to your life in general?
Okay. Well, I can relate it to, it's something as simple as just going out. And if we talk we could talk credit, like credit cards. Let's talk about that part of it.
Okay.
So we on Swipe Life, like ASAP Ferg, swipe.
All right.
Swipe Life, and then you get that statement, and you like, dang.
Did I do that?
Right, but you already knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. So I always say everybody want to be the boss till it's time to boss up. So you just got to pay those dues. You know that bill coming. Most of the time, if you look at it from a different way, if you swipe it, always have the money to go ahead and cover it anyway. Use that swipe to build up your credit.
Absolutely.
You use that to just pay that on time or whatever, put a dent in it. But yeah, that's how I look at it. So whatever move you make, you got to be prepared to pay whatever dues that come with it, whether it's moving up in a position in your career, whether it's starting a business, whether it's starting any kind of new venture. You got to always be willing to pay the dues that come with it.
Absolutely. Okay, so I want to touch on everyday facets of all people. So, my everyday quote unquote 9-to-5ers, and even, my folks that's out in the street getting it, whatever way that is. Even if you're in the street, I don't always mean you're doing something illegal.
Right.
But sometimes we tend to look at the person that's ahead, the CEO, the person that's running said company that you are working for. And you want to get there to their position, but you want to be seen. How can I make sure that my manager, and please hint that I keep on using manager because we only got one boss.
That's right.
But anyway, that's all that subject. But anyway,
Message.
right.
Message.
But just keep grinding at it, as you were saying. Sometimes people want to see, are you willing to dig and be in the trenches? Are you willing to keep on working hard? You know, sometimes if I give you that credit right early, it may slow you down. Oh, he noticed me now, I'm good. And that work ethic will decrease. By keep on putting that hard hat on and sometimes just getting that tunnel vision and just going and going and going. The fruits of your labor, they will mature. So I just like everybody to just keep pounding at it. Don't always worry about, well, he complimented Keon, but shucks, he ain't say nothing to me to b.hill. Why they ain't say nothing to me?
Absolutely.
It could have been something outside for years on that Keon already been working on, right? And you didn't even know about. So just keep doing your thing, and eventually it will come back. People that are next to you, you gotta push away that negativity because you're going to have people that are, well, sure, you've been doing the work this long. He said something to Keon. When is going to be your turn? Right. And sometimes we fall into that trap. Yeah, you're right. I should be right now. They should be talking about me. Sometimes you got to step away from those folks because they may not know what you're trying to do or what you're really trying to achieve. They just riding the wave of right now. Shucks, they see you in your little Ford Explorer and you popping at them because they on the bus. Right. But you trying to get to a Bentley and they ain't got Bentley dreams. Shoot, Taco Bell and an all-day bus pass is what they aiming for. So you got to step out of your comfort zone and sometimes distance yourself, as you were saying. You said one thing that stuck with me. You said you stepped outside of yourself, right? So sometimes stepping outside of yourself and giving an observation. Okay, am I doing enough to be noticed so I can get that credit, right?
Exactly, absolutely.
So you got to reevaluate yourself at all times, but keep going. That's my thing. Keep going.
Yeah, I realized too that something that you said I want to speak to, as far as you said you're always looking to the CEO or to the next person ahead of you.
Right.
It reminds me of a lot of movies that we see, especially in our culture, man. I want to say, I don't know if that's Get Down or Lay Down. It's one of those state property movies where you had, I think, the character Baby Boy. Is that, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
And he was looking at the dude in front of him. He like, nah, man, I got to do my own thing. I want to do my own thing. It's always that one that always wants to take over. You know what I'm saying? Take over. Some people, and I mean, it's nothing wrong with wanting to have your own, but it's about your approach and the way that you go about it. The way that you go about trying to move up that ladder. And once again, you said moving away from negativity, moving negative out your circle. That's key as well. Even though negative is always needed for the balance of the universe, but you don't want to dwell on negative things. You know, you want to always elevate higher and move forward past that negativity.
Okay, so next with that, so once you receive the credit, are you ready for it? Once you receive the credit, are you ready for it? Now, you've been fighting and you've been stating, oh, shucks, they should give me the credit. I'm due. I've been doing this and that. Now you get the credit and they put more work on you. Are you ready for that?
Now that right there, see, that's the other step. When you're looking at that CEO, you're only looking at
what they call it, the flip side of the coin.
Right. You gotta look at it from both angles, right? So now you're only looking at, you might be looking at that number that he making, but look at everything that comes on the other side of that number.
Absolutely.
Look at all that quality time, all the stress and the pressure, because somebody always pushing down, right? Somebody always pushing down. So now it's that side of the game, the side you ain't see. It's like, hey, Mr. Hill, I wish I was doing what you was doing. They don't even know to have. They don't understand that it was a progression. It was a progression, and you stepped into it when you was ready. Okay. You stepped into it whenever you was ready, or we step into things whenever we're ready. And if you step there before then, it could be overwhelming. You might not be prepared for it. So don't ever just wish you had what somebody else had, because you never know what they had to go through to get it.
Absolutely. I think we as a people in general, not all of us, but some of us, we look at celebrities and say, oh, they should just be happy. They making all this money, yada, yada, yada. But they in that limelight forever. They can never turn it off. They can never just, I just want to go to Walmart.
It ain't no more Walmart.
You have that
It ain't no
luxury
more.
now. So that's why I say when you get the credit, are you ready for what comes with it? Because now, shucks, now you on call. Okay, yeah, you did a great job. Boom, I love it. But now, okay, since I see that you do such great work, I need you at my beck and call 24 hours. So now you got a nice iPhone. You got the what we on, iPhone 20 now? Somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shucks, I can't keep up. But now I got you this lovely phone. I need you to answer it at my call. You were thinking about going out to dinner? Nope, cancel that. Come on, we got to work. So it's always going to be some things that come with it. You have some people that wish they could go back, right? Wish they could go back. So when that credit does come, are you ready for it? Can you handle it? So it's some things to think about. So that's why, hey, sometimes just put in the work. Don't worry about the credit and just pay your dues.
Most definitely.
All right. So when you do pay your dues, what are some benefits that you get from that without the credit, would you say?
When you do pay your dues, it's just a credits to hard work, staying dedicated, and staying motivated. It should always be a motivator for yourself, because in the middle of you grinding, looking forward, you always should look at your accomplishments and look at how far you started. Look at that blueprint that you drew up.
Message.
And just realize where you came from.
You segued without even knowing it, but a beautiful thing. I would say sometimes, God dog, give yourself the credit.
That's right.
Right? You waiting for somebody else to come out and give you an say they seen your accomplishment or something like that. Be your own cheerleader. Be your own superhero, because you may become someone else's. So give yourself that credit. You getting up, going to work, or you getting up, going out there to hustle. That in itself, just going up, and you could have said, you know what, I'm going to call off. But the fact that you made it there. So we always want to see the big picture goal without sometimes seeing those small individual goals that you got to put in, because you putting rocks, different pebbles in that bucket, boom, until it add up. Now I can make this concrete. So each little pebble that you putting in there, congratulate yourself on that.
There you go.
And that's it.
You had your Scarface in the tub moment. Who built this me?
Who put this together? Absolutely. Absolutely. That being said, I would just like to tell the people, don't focus on the credit. Just pay all your dues. Keep going out there. You will be noticed. And I like to tell you all, if nobody has told you,